for all of them. So now we say cats, books, snakes. Now for each one of those, because the previous sound is voiceless, then we're going to pronounce this as s, s. So we say cats, books, snakes. Okay, you see that? So this sound, the sound s, is voiceless too. So if we have a voiceless sound before the s, we're going to pronounce it as a voiceless sound, as an s sound. Okay, so this is the simplest one because for Spanish speakers, we have that sound in our language. But now we're going to go over the next one. So let's move here and we're going to analyze our first word. So we have dog, dog. Now if you put your fingers to your throat again and you say dog, dog, and you repeat only the last sound, then you're going to feel vibration of your vocal cords. So you say dog, dog, g, 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 g. So that's the sound, and you feel vibration. So this sound is going to be called a voiced sound, like here, voiced sound, because it has vibration. Now, let's go to the next word, to the next example. So we see the word cow, cow. If we pronounce the last sound, it's actually a vowel. So we say cow, cow, cow. There is vibration because it's a vowel. So all vowel sounds vibrate. So we move to the next one, to the last one that we have today. Of course, there are more. So you just have to look for more examples if you wish to do more research to look into this topic. And we have the word garden. Now, as we can see, garden, the last sound, again, we do the same process again. We pronounce the very last sound, garden, n, n, n. So we place our fingers to our throat and we repeat the sound, only the last one, n, n. So we feel vibration here. So that vibration is going to tell me that this sound is a voiced sound. Now, let's just analyze here on this column. We see the z sound, z sound. So again, we do the sound and we produce the sound and we place our, you put your fingers here to your throat and you repeat the sound, z, z. So this is a voiced sound because it vibrates. What does it mean? That whenever we have a word that ends in a voiced sound, then that means that I'm going to pronounce the S ending, right? Because it's spelled with S, as an Z, or as a voiced uh, S, if you want to call it like that. Because in spelling we see that it's just an S, just like in here. But the pronunciation for that S changes. So we say Z, Z. So see how different it is to say cats than dogs, dogs. Okay. Now that's that's for these two types of pronunciation. But then we have a third one. Now, if we go here and we see this example, the first one is box, box, box. Okay, so we're going to pronounce only the last sound. Again, you can put your fingers to your throat and say box, box, pretty much like a sound, right? Then we go to this one, the sh. Again, the last sound, sh, sh. And the very last one, watch, 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 watch. I'm sorry, I was pronouncing it incorrectly. Watch. Okay, so we see that these sounds are kind of similar. They share something in common. It is that the airstream is continuous. So if you say box, you can continue doing that sound uh, until you uh, until you have no air in your lungs to produce it anymore. The same happens for dish, and the same happens for watch. Watch. So we say box, dish, watch. Now, but what does it mean? That whenever we have a sound like that, that sound is going to be called a sibilant sound. A sibilant sound. Because the airstream is continuous. And unless you have no air left in your lungs, then you're going to be able to continue doing that sound. It's not stopped, right? It's not something that stops, like in the case of the k, k. So we just say k, and it stops. But for these sounds, and notice something here, that these sounds are the same that we have in here for s, sh, and ch, and x, s, right? Well, we just leave out this one, the O sound, because that's a vowel. But for the rest, notice that they are sibilant sounds. Now, what does it mean? That whenever we have a sibilant sound, we're going to pronounce the word or the es ending as is. And remember that the grammar rule says that whenever I have x, is c, h, ch, sh, or let me see which one other was the s itself, then we're going to add es, right? So we add es because that's what the grammar rule says to all of these ones. And the pronunciation, as I previously mentioned, is going to be is. So we say boxes, dishes, watches. Okay, so notice that there is vibration. So the vocal cords vibrate for the sound because we say is. But in here we have these sibilant sounds, the x, sh, ch, or the s itself. So for those words, they're going to be pronounced in that same manner. So let's just pronounce all of them. So in here, this column, we're going to say boxes, dishes, watches. For these ones here, we're going to say cats, books, snakes. And for the ones over here, we're going to say, let me put it this way. So we're going to say dogs, cows, gardens. So notice the three different pronunciations. And now when you think about the plural of nouns, then you're going to apply these rules depending on the last sound for the nouns. I guess that was all for today, guys. So I hope you liked it, and I hope you learned a lot. Bye bye.